Hello and welcome to Good House 1968. This is Brother White speaking. What I do is read and interpret from the Tanakh and the Quran. If you'd like to support the ministries, you can by shopping at Good House 1968.space. You have all your beauty, healthcare, men's, women's, furniture, whatever you're looking for. Just browse the site. You don't have to leave an email or you don't have to sign up. The funds go for the purchase of Bibles and Tanakhs for the Bible students. So that is a good reason to support Good House 1968.space by shopping there. You can find almost anything there, so please open your pure hearts to the brothers and sisters and support the ministries. All right, you can view this program at vimeo.com, that's vimeo.com, or Blog Talk Radio. Just look for Good House 1968, and you can view the program there. All right, I'm going to open with a word of prayer. Alpha and Omega, I petition you to strengthen the brothers and sisters out. Those things that they may find difficult to understand or to accept, I pray that you open their pure heart and enable them to be able to accept it and to be able to place it into an active force in their lives. I pray that you strengthen them up and direct them on the narrow road that leads to everlasting life. And I pray that you guide and direct them and keep directing them. I don't know how many members or how many listeners I have, but I pray that you direct those, if it be a few, only 4 or 1 or whatever. I pray that you direct them, and I pray that you guide them, regardless of how many or how many less they may be. I pray this in the name of Yeshua or Omega. Shalom, amen, amen, shalom. All right, there's the issue of creation. Satan is a creator, evil is a creator itself, and it does evil creations to infest God's creations or Alpha's creations. We do not worship what is normally accepted in society as God. We shall never worship that because they do not accept God, or they do not accept the term of our God. They accept the term of God, meaning idols and deities that they summon that do the work of the devil or the work of evil for them. We accept the Creator who did not create all of this mess, even though it is in his justice, or as we know, in his just creations. We, as followers of his, should not accept those who were previously, we accept those who convert. We will not convert, but those who change their evil actions. But we do not trust them, because if they knew the truth before, those who were converted as believers and then went back to unbelievers, if they knew the truth before, then they shouldn't have strayed off. They shouldn't have turned against our Creator. But we have to accept them back, but we have to watch them under caution, because they are dangerous to us and always will be, because of what we do not know if they will turn back or become spies for evil or the devil. We have to recognize our Creator is the one that created justice, which is the only thing that we should be concerned about, or righteousness. The devil creates evil and uses this evil to do evil with, and to do illusions. His illusions are to make you think that God or Alpha created these things. We have to be aware that Alpha does not create injustice or evil things, nor accepts evil. The devil deals with evil things, and his heart is not set upon righteousness, nor is those who he inhabits or possesses, as we know when he gets in us. We should pray consistently for one another as a congregation, not for those who are outside the congregation. You pray for them, but you understand, as I said before, you're asking for mercy and forgiveness. So it's hard enough for you to get mercy and forgiveness. So, well, really not hard, because, no, it is. It's kind of hard unless you stop the evil actions. So we want to pray consistently for one another that we are strong in Alpha's good force and not in evil's force. Evil will tell you the many things. There is no creator, there is no just creator, there's none of that. But evil lies and evil builds itself in receiving or taking. It doesn't not receiving the light way as we think of earning. It steals the good action from the good action that we do to serve our creator, Alpha. We want to have him build us strongly and not in the creation of the devil. So do not accept the soul or this form, as they say, God created and made us in the image and likeness of him. But is this the image and likeness God created and made? Once imperfection hit, imperfection becomes a great illusion. And as we see, those illusions are the illusions that do evil works. They do no good works. So not accept the pains of the soul, because that is one of its means of getting you to submit. Do not accept anything of the evil, because the soul is infested with sin. It is corrupt. And rely only on the pure heart, and do not rely on those who come to you saying that they're good. We see from the so-called angels who are actually women, or female, as I should say, because the brand of woman or women was placed on Eve and her seed. So we want to not accept female because they have proven to be anything in the image and likeness of them, or in the image and likeness of the creation. They have proved it to be a serpent, and no good and evil actions only originate from its heart and from it. Never accept anything that would cause you to error. That's like working with a power tool or tool. And it causes you to cut yourself or to catch your finger in the tool. These type of evil actions are part of the evil that originates from Satan and his demons and his house, even to claim that they're not behind it when they are. When their actions prove different, and their actions have always proven different. Our actions must prove to be good actions, as I said, or righteous actions. We must only dwell in the good actions and righteous actions that Alpha puts in us or here as a law, rule, regulations. Now, the scriptures have been rewritten by evil, so we don't accept anything that we determine as being evil, which is just using common sense. So if we use our common sense, it will not allow us to stray off or give us a warning, because these so-called warnings or premonitions, a lot of them are from evil. And evil uses these premonitions or these sayings through our subconscious, including our conscience, because of the manifestation of ads that are placed in the media, or things in the media that gives evil power and authority over our conscious and our subconscious, including our mind. So we do not want to go by all these thoughts that ponder in our head, but we want to still use common sense and be a winner, good action and righteous action winner. We do not want to use any of the thoughts that are put in our head by evil. Even as they attempt to speak to us, saying that they're warding off evil and things like that, or speak through us like God speaks through, or Alpha speaks through us, we do not want that. If we are relieving stress by talking out aloud or to a wall or things like that, we do not want to accept evil's interference. Well, let you enjoy yourself with some funny jokes or laughter that you can say out loud. Do not become encompassed with friendship with evil. Evil is your enemy and always has, and any image and likeness of evil is an enemy and always has and always will be. So we want to wake up from that, and we want to wake up from the snares and traps of evil. Those things that you go through in your life, even if you can't remember, sit back and ponder and try and remember, because evil, one way or one thing that evil uses is amnesia, to get us to forget what we have learned or what we have encountered or what we have experienced. We do not want to accept the fact that we lost because we can't remember. That's not the truth. Because in reality, there is no insanity, there is no amnesia. It is all evil's works to break the will or the purity of you. If evil can do this, evil will do so. Now, since it's all, if the soul is an evil manifestation, who's to say that the sin is not an evil manifestation? To just like someone playing with the mind but can't touch the body. That's what the media does with us anyway, and we know that. If those of us who don't, then you have to wake up and realize that that is the case. We want to build off of this purity, and don't believe purity where you feel you're pure every day or something like that the wrong way. Purity builds us up. It builds us strength greater than the evil that encompasses us. It gives us strength to overpower evil when it tries to drive us off into an evil action or a wrong action. We do not want to become engulfed or encompassed with evil's wrong actions or evil's actions. We want to stay away from the evil actions and the evils of evil. Evil is not a fool as it's shown when it produced computers, or shown as it has produced computers, televisions, radios. It's produced many technological things, so it's showing that it is not stupid. Now, years back, I used to think that the devil was stupid or a coward, but the devil proves himself different in that he uses mass forces and he uses force. And he will show you, even though he runs in a coward way because he will not fight by himself, evil will not fight by himself, he will use even the police to do injustices or evil. The devil comes in mass mobs and he's not a fool to come alone. And it's like a lion. You have a lion with more lions. So the hunt on his behalf becomes greater and more successful, and the odds of you winning are not that great or are in his favor. But if you stand with Alpha, you win. Alpha will give you the ability to escape the evil actions or the wrong actions or the injustices. But for as long as you're doing good actions. Now, a lot of times we may lose the physical form and think that it was not good, but yet Alpha has a different purpose. What is good to him or what is good to him may not appear to be good to us, but it is good because Alpha is good. So do not accept stake or drawing, as I sometimes do, or draw out the cross to protect. Those things are futile things, and even calling on his name is futile. You have to do good actions and righteous actions and keep trust, faith, and belief. That will instill and use the power of the purity that and the Ruach HaKodesh that Alpha gives us. And we have to ask mercifully for it and humbly and gracious and be grateful for what we receive. Regardless if we were thought that we should be able to kill off a mass amount of the evil, it's not that. God gives or Alpha gives as he wills, and your will is not his will or Alpha will, and it will never be. So wake up, ladies and gentlemen, and accept graciously what we're given from the Creator. Now, there are situations that will come in our day-to-day lives, like I'm trying to pay my bills, my credit cards off, and I had the money or in Bitcoins. And I went to exchange them for US dollars, but the person called PayPal and said he didn't make the transaction, but he received my Bitcoins in his account. And right now I'm trying to get Alpha to undo what injustice occurred. But this is an injustice from Satan. In order to cause me more hardship and having to pay more bills and having to save up more and not money to do as I want, which is to buy Bibles and Qurans and Qurans, Tanakhs, and Bibles for the Bible students. So these type of things hit us on a day-to-day basis, and we have to remain calm, even if you have to take a sip of beer, sip of wine to relax or calm yourself. Uh, we have to do that because Satan wants us to become enraged and he wants us to go about in an evil way of doing things evil. Now, I've had problems out of PayPal, but then they gave me a problem today telling me the evidence that I wanted to submit, which was to allow them to go into the account and to look at the account and look at the transactions, and they would see that the guy received my Bitcoins. but they didn't want to do so. I spoke with the supervisor, the same action. So we know how PayPal is, and I'm going to recommend that those who listen to me do not deal with them. It is a bad place. And most of the places we have to realize when we have foreigners, like I talked before, the foreigners, they do not do the jobs that they're required to do, which is why we have so many problems and destruction here in America. Now, foreigners come here with their intent of only getting money to send back to their relatives, which is good. That's a good thing to do. But you can't lie in your work and change the rules and regulations and use your feelings towards Americans or your feelings towards blacks and so forth, or even your feelings towards the sick or mentally insane or the incompetent. You shouldn't do that, but they do that, and we experience it in the hardships and the financial hardships because of them, which is one reason why they're not wanted in our country, but yet there are so many of them who come here. So even those who are the Hispanic Puerto Ricans from previous times that came here, they do the same thing. And we experience these things and we don't like them. And one way is to stand up and say we're not going to be a victim to them coming in and victimizing us. It's okay to come in, make money, and send back to your relatives because that's part of business and capitalization. But what we don't want to do is accept the hardships that they bring us. Now they get here and the money that they get, they send it home. That's okay. But we have other people who are, for those few who are actually seeking employment, because a lot of people want employment to go in there and steal what is the company's own, or to do injustices, or to, they're not actually there to do a work or do as they're told. A lot of people just want employment because not from hardships or anything like that, to do injustices, and they gain these positions by a lot of their relatives or organizations, and these organizations will step their foot in their behind if they do not follow orders of what they're told to do. So we have to watch out for that. It's not that everybody's seeking employment, because that's not realistic. If you have 50 million people unemployed and there's no government loans, excuse me, government grants or loans or something to subsidize for them, then are they actually financially unstable or disabled? So wake up, ladies and gentlemen. It's a problem with those who put forth and say that they want employment, but they do not want employment. Now, if you actually want to earn some money, just give me an email at partsautomotive@hotmail.com, and I'll send you some things out so you could make some money. Now, we're talking about the vampire and the possession of the vampire. Anything that is capable of being broken down or imperfect is not to be trusted. Nor them. And we have a lot of vampires here today in our own community, as we see on a day-to-day basis. Not a thing of light or darkness. And these people accept evil, and they will do evil's will. Now, you have a lot of cultists who drink blood, but it's not the problem with drinking blood. It's like sucking the good from you. You don't want the good taken from you. That's something you worked hard for and earned, and took hard earning. Even though you may not realize it, it didn't come from nothing or reaping some evil. Good comes from good, and unless you are a vampire and you stole it, which we see why so many people get over today or are in power today, where they don't have to put their lives on a monetary scale or need money because they are wealthy. Wealthy in many ways that are unseen by us. So wake up, brothers and sisters. These type of things we have to wake up and recognize. And these things, when we wake up and recognize, we should not follow evil's way. We want to stay out of evil's way, but we want to be mindful and use what we experience or see or witness and make it a witness on our behalf, because we do the reverse or good's way of doing things, because we acknowledge the good that we see. Even though something may be evil, but the knowledge and the means that it originally started using came from Alpha. So it's using his means or his knowledge, but yet it converts it to evil. That's like you convert AC to DC current. So remember that. We don't want to pond off in the direction where we feel, well, we have to use evil actions to get ahead. That's not the truth. You can get ahead, and the Lord will be with you and work with you and help you. So remember that. We want to stay doing good actions and good actions always. We don't want to stray to the left or to the right. And when I say to the left or the right, I'm not taking a physical left or right. I'm just saying left and right in the sense of going in one direction or going in another direction. We want to stay on the ray that goes in one direction, not a line that goes in two directions, where we're saying, well, we can do evil and we can do good. That's not the truth. All right, so that is it for my ministries. It's only 20 minutes and something. So I'm going to say a prayer and I'm going to close out, and you guys shall be receiving this. But please remember to support the ministries at goodhouse1968.space. For those things you're going to shop for anyway, shop for them at goodhouse1968.space. And remember, we don't want to bring burdens on ourselves, so when we learn something from Alpha or the Lord, we want to do these things because these things benefit us by doing those things. That's like if someone told you and showed you how to plant a garden and told you when winter comes you had better harvest and plant that garden, or you will starve, and you don't do it. And then here winter comes, you don't have any food, no one's around with food, and you're living in the country of the wilderness. So what are you going to do? Go out and hunt the animals. The animals will probably get you before you get them. So wake up, ladies and gentlemen. Do as you're told. Be obedient to good actions and righteous actions, not to the experiments of the devil or the test of the devil or the evil actions. Stay awake and stay alert, and do not believe in the gods of this system or the gods of this world. Alpha is only one, and one deity. Well, he is. Don't put him as a deity because he's greater, and he doesn't use the means of where you bow down, do all that crazy stuff, trying to impress somebody. That's not required by Alpha or Omega. That never was required. People did that in order to salute or honor, show his greatness. Those who were good action, righteous action people from the past. But we don't need to do that. We just need to remember to do good actions and righteous actions and stay alert of evil actions and evil things that take place. Report them to one another and report them to the authorities, even though the authorities may be the ones doing it. All right, that is it. Also, I pray to you, strengthen brothers and sisters up, give us a way out in all means, and strengthen our minds up beyond all directions that we are able to be a part of purity and good, and to be used by you justly, and not accept those vampires or things of evil or evil actions, that we may grow and that we may draw off of the gardens which beneath which rivers flow, the lives of other brothers and sisters in heaven, helping us to do good actions and righteous actions, and not believing in angels or things like that because of what we know. They're not accepting or having to live a life of seeking lust or sex from a partner, because we know we only marry under the rules and regulations of or the justice of Alpha and Omega, and that is if you love and want to bear children. But yet we understand your laws and we live your laws and we try. But I pray that they stray not from one. And I pray that you strengthen us up and guide us and direct our ways on a way that leads to the gardens beneath which rivers flow, or heaven, or good. Praise in the name of Omega. Amen. Shalom. Shalom. Amen.